Hi, welcome to Song Demolition. I'm Chris Wallin with Building Great Songs. And this is where we take songs and we demolish them, take them apart, and see how they tick. And if you have a song that you want me to do a song demolition on that everybody knows and that, let me know. Let me know. And I'll go through it and take my hammer to it. Okay. So the song I'm going to be doing today is, I've always loved this song. It's actually one of my songs. And you've never heard this song. It's not a hit. But I've always loved this song. And it's very different. The way Melissa Pierce and I wrote this song, it's a very different kind of thing. Especially the rhyme scheme is interesting in it. And we kind of did some things on purpose. So anyway, I'm going to sing the song. And then we'll talk about the song, about how we ended up writing it. Here we go. I left you burning in a flame of a candle I lit in a church in Aberdeen. And I sit down in the pew where I cried a tear or two, this time just for me. And I left you in the middle of a wheat field with a lightning striking right before my eyes. I was filled with silent pain until I let that violent rain wash me a little more clean. Now I'm a little less us and a little more me. And slowly but surely, little by little, this river of sorrow will turn to a trickle, as I'm constantly finding somewhere new to leave you. Yeah. Well, I left you in a San Andreas sunset, so beautiful it hurt my eyes to see. As it slid down the horizon, I couldn't help but realize that it's a lot like you and me. It looks close enough to touch, but it's further than you think. And slowly but surely, little by little, this river of sorrow will turn to a trickle, and I'm constantly finding somewhere new to leave you. Yeah, leave. Slowly but surely, little by little, this river of sorrow will turn to a trickle, and I'm constantly finding somewhere new. Yeah, I'm constantly finding somewhere new to leave you. Yeah. Just like you left me, I'm gonna leave you. So that was Leave You. Let's get right into it. So let's just go through it. I left you burning in the flame of a candle that I lit in a church in Aberdeen. So the first thing, if you'll notice the I left you. And the next one's going to be I left you in the middle of a wheat field. That is going to set up the hook, because when I say I left you, every time I say I left you, it strengthens the hook. When you say, when you talk about leave you, that's where I'm going to leave you. So anyway, so I did that on purpose. And also, there's so much, furniture. I call it furniture. Or word painting, however you want to do it. But songs like this, I love writing visual songs. And this is one of those songs that is so visual. And there's a story behind this song, by the way, that I'm going to tell at the end of this that is very touching. And how we come up with this was, man, it'll give you goosebumps. So I'll tell that at the end of this. So let's keep going. So I left you burning in the flame of a candle that I lit in a church in Aberdeen. I sat down in the pew where I cried a tear or two, but this time just for me. Now that's a little bit of foreshadowing, and curiosity, because you're they're like, wow, what's going on here? And it makes them want to know what's coming up next. And as far as rhyme schemes, like I said, this is a very odd rhyme scheme. And because the first verse is X, A, and then basically this is an X, but it's an inner rhyme every time. Every time I do the third line, it's an inner rhyme. So I'm writing pew with two. So X, and X means that there is no rhyme. And by the way, while we're doing this, if you're interested in rhyme schemes and getting help with rhyme schemes, go to buildinggreatsongs.com/rhyme scheme. And there'll be a free download there that actually gives you visual feedback on your rhyme schemes. It's really cool. Okay, so this is an XA. This would be considered an X, probably. A. Okay, so I left you in the middle of the wheat field with the lightning striking right before my eyes. I was filled with silent pain till I let that violent rain wash me a little more clean. Okay, now I'm a little less us and a little more me. So I added a line, and the clean, if you'll notice, does not rhyme with the eyes. I don't know if you knew that, if clean didn't rhyme with eyes, but I was just pointing it out. So we did that on purpose, just to have, that different, because that different thing that makes the listener, even subconsciously, it'll make the listener go, whoa, wait a minute, They'll subconsciously listen better when you do something like that. When you just out of the blue, you don't, they're expecting an I rhyme, and it ends up being wash me a little more clean. And then I added going into the chorus, now I'm a little less us and a little more me. And that's kind of a punchline, because it can go a bunch of different ways. So let me go through that again. So I left you in the middle of a wheat field with the lightning striking right before my eyes. I was filled with silent pain till I let that violent rain wash me a little more clean. Now I'm a little less us and a little more me. So that one goes XA, probably X, BB, and of course the inner rhyme of pain and rain. Actually, also the inner rhyme of silent and violent, which I'm proud of that one, by the way. So anyway, so it's a very different, and that is the last time I used that. This going into this chorus is the last time I used that rhyme scheme in this whole thing. And I remember when we wrote this song, it was just something different. I thought, this is what I think I said, this is what I want to say, but something that rhymes with eyes. And I said it. And we were both like, well, let's just say that. And like I said, it kind of makes the listener even subconsciously say, whoa, wait a minute, that kind of come out of nowhere a little bit, but it was really cool, and it was very visual too. So what we're saying here is, in the song, I left you here. I left you in the middle of a wheat field. With a lightning striking right. So there's a lot of tension here, and there is, I was filled with silent pain until I let that violent rain wash me a little more clean. So there's a little bit of, I put up there, a little bit of hope. There's loss, but there's that little bit of hope. This person is getting washed clean. Now I'm a little less us, but a little more me. So this person is healing. And then it goes into the chorus, which is slowly but surely, little by little, this river of sorrow will turn to a trickle, because I'm constantly finding somewhere new to leave you. So that's a very simple AABB rhyme scheme. And but it, the whole thing of the chorus is, I'm slowly, little by little, I'm leaving you all these places, and this river of sorrow. And what is important about this is the river of sorrow never turned off. It went down to a trickle, but it's still there. So there's still some sorrow there. There's still hurt. But when you lose anybody, there usually is, just magically one day healed. So, because I'm constantly finding somewhere new to leave you. And when I say that, I left you burning in the flame of the candle, I left you in the middle of a wheat field, it validates all of that. And it's a metaphor. It's a metaphor of, just getting better and healing. Okay, let's keep going. I left you in a San Andreas sunset, so beautiful it hurt my eyes to see. As it slid down the horizon, I couldn't help but realize that it's a lot like you and me. It looks close enough to touch, but it's further than you think. And so, and that, like I said, that's a basically XAA rhyme scheme. So that's actually different than even the first or the second one, because I guess it, because the E, I used the same, instead of here I used a different eyes clean, me, candle, Aberdeen, me. Yeah, so basically that's an AXAA. And of course, I also did the inner rhyme here, which it's a very questionable rhyme. Okay, so, which I still love this rhyme. As I slid down the horizon, I couldn't help but realize that. It doesn't really rhyme, but it still works, still kind of works. There's a lot of people that are sticklers. You have to have perfect rhymes, especially older school people. They're like, you have to have perfect rhymes every time or it doesn't count. And that's ridiculous. I'll be honest with you, because if it works and it feels right, guess what? It is right. So anyway, what I did here too, I kind of, it's, you know, I'm going to go through this again because there's a thought here that I wanted to do. So I left you in a San Andreas sunset, so beautiful it hurt my eyes to see. So it's, you know, it's kind of almost like you're leaving the memory there. As it slid down the horizon, I couldn't help but realize that it's a lot like you and me. And that is another, like I did up there, it's another hook, you know, where you're like, hey, it tries to get their interest because you're like, oh, it is? Well, how? How is it a lot like you and me? It looks close enough to touch, but it's further than you think. So in other words, it's always right there. Your memory is always right there, but so far away. And even though he's trying to leave her, you know. And in this song, if you notice that the dynamics that I use in this song, the first verse is very subdued. If you burning in a flame, and then when it goes into I left you in the middle of a wheel, that's the difference. Okay, and then when I get to after the chorus, I go full rhythmic. I left you in a San Andreas sunset, and it's just a dynamics thing that you change, and you're basically building. You know, you're building a feeling is what you're doing with dynamics, and also in the lead break after the chorus, you know, it goes to the 4 instead of the 1. And it goes to, and that's just a different in the lead break. Slowly but surely, and it goes to the broken down part. And all that is for one thing, that chord right there is basically the first time that chord has been used. So again, it's used to get attention. And after that, you know, that long, there's a lead break and that chord. And then when you go into the broken down chorus, it just kind of flows down and people are already hooked. And the broken down chorus is just to bring everybody back in from, you know, jamming out. And it's just all about dynamics, and dynamics are so important in songwriting. And there's so many people who don't use dynamics, that basically use the same chord and the same level of playing through their whole song. And that's a mistake. You always use dynamics, and how loud you sing, what chord you use, how hard you play, whether you're going to play whether you're going to do a muted thing or all open. It all comes together and makes a better song if you use it. So I think that's it. Like I said, the I left you in the verses sets up the hook. And so now I'm going to tell you the story. This song, and by the way, before I do this, like I said, I wasn't kidding. Go to buildinggreatsongs.com/rhyme scheme. and get the rhyme scheme cheat sheet. It'll help you out with the rhyme schemes. Okay, anyway, so the story behind the song, I was supposed to write with Melissa, and it was, I was waiting. She was late, and she's very rarely late. We wrote together. Melissa Pierce is amazing, by the way. Go look her up. She wrote for Disney for years. She's awesome. So anyway, I was waiting to write with her, and she was late, and she said, "I'm so sorry I'm late," but she's like, I've just come back from an amazing, not really a vacation, but she was overseas doing a bunch of stuff. I said, "Oh man, that's awesome." And she told me the story that her friend had lost her husband, and they weren't married that long. They were young, and so they had all these places that they were going to go, and all these places in these countries that they were going to go. Well, they never got to go there because he passed away before they could. So her and Melissa went on a vacation, and they took his ashes, and they everywhere, all of the things that they did, all of the things that her and her husband were going to do, but they sprinkled his ashes on all, so he made it to all of those places that they said they were going to go. And it was like a 2-3 week trip, and she was just coming back from that, and man, she was telling me the story, and I just, golly, it got to me. And immediately I thought of this Leave You. So when you listen back to this song, listen back to it knowing that is where this came from. And down to, leaving, I think it might have been in Aberdeen. There was a little church that she said that there was candles at the church, and they actually left just a little bit of him in that church. And but anyway, it's amazing where songs come from. I don't want to make this too long, but anyway, that is the song Demolition of Leave You, song I wrote, and I hope you enjoyed it. And like I said, if there's any songs that you want me to do through Song Demolition, let me know. Either email me or let me know if you see this through YouTube, and maybe I'll do that song. So, as always, may your next song be your best song, and I'll see you on the next one. I'm Chris Wallin. Bye.